Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, August 24th, and I'm happy to be with you today. On Tuesday, I put out a question asking, what do you believe, aphasia community? So I addressed it to the aphasia community and I left the question very broad because I didn't want to limit your thinking on this question. So let's see. I've got multiple things running. I got Instagram running here on my phone, and I'm streaming to Facebook and YouTube. Okay, this is a lot of tech to keep track of and keep my thoughts going. Okay, so the question is, what do you believe? And I received some incredible responses. Many of you wrote to me personally at hello@dolifespeechpathology.com, and you really had some incredible insights. So I boiled it down to four things that I wanted to share from you based on your comments and responses to me to this question. The first one is aphasia helped me break free of the hamster wheel of work. Now I have time to exercise and do the things that I enjoy. That's an interesting perspective. Number two, someone responded, I believe I caused my stroke. He went on to talk about how he didn't take care of his health. He put other components in front of his health, and he feels that he doesn't deserve to get better because he feels shame about having had that stroke and subsequent aphasia. Number number three response. This woman responded, I deserve to have a good life and to be loved even though I can't talk the way I want. And number four response I wanted to share, I don't know if there is hope. I feel so alone. Aren't these responses interesting? So, what do you believe, aphasia community? So, I wanted to take this time to reinforce that everybody has a different journey. You come from a different place, you go through whether it's a stroke, a brain tumor, a head injury, some other kind of neurologic condition that causes you to have impaired speaking, listening, reading, writing, thinking, whatever the case may be. I wanted to highlight today some of the stroke survivors that I have interviewed on the podcast and just give you a couple of tidbits about each one of them and how they found a way forward. So, episode 53 is with Avi Golden. Avi was a paramedic and he's been a stroke survivor for 16 years. How he finds his way forward, he continues to work every day, every week on his speech and language. He attends an aphasia center. He actually travels with a speech pathologist talking to other medical professionals. So he uses his knowledge of emergency paramedic procedures to find a connection with medical professionals and then speak from the heart as an aphasia survivor. He also refused to let weakness in his arm and leg keep him from doing the activities he loves. He is a big proponent of disability sports. He doesn't see aphasia or his physical weaknesses as deterring him from doing the activities he loves. Check out Avi Listen for Life podcast, episode 53. Last week, I introduced you to Matt Thomas. Matt Thomas is the co-founder of positive-matters.org. Matt is a 32-year brain injury survivor. And despite what caused him to have his brain injury were his choices in his life and how he was living his life. He found a way to overcome 3 months in a coma, depression. He found religion, he found God, he found humor. He didn't find humor, he always had humor, but he uses humor and connection with others in the brain injury community to keep moving forward. He is another person that is living and thriving. He just did a second hydro bike ride from California, in California, from Catalina Island to Newport Beach, California. I haven't heard what his time was on this second annual bike ride, but he is not letting anything stand in his way. He's on a weekly radio show. He travels to different places and talks about brain injury and how to support those who have brain injury. So that's Matt Thomas, episode 54. Episode 33 on the Listen for Life podcast was Aaron Avila. He is the founder of Stroke TV Media. Aaron is, now I'm getting all my numbers confused, I want to say 13 years post-stroke that impacted his speech. He started Stroke TV Media to inspire others, to let them know that there's hope, that there's strategies, that there's others out there, that you aren't alone. He surrounded himself and found inspiration in others. And Aaron pulled himself out of a 3-year depression and thoughts of suicide after his stroke. And now he is doing a live show 2 days a week. He participates in C-Suite Network, and he works with stroke survivors around the world to give them hope and inspiration. Thank you for all you do also, Aaron. Then I want to bring your attention to episode number 3 with Angie Cawthorn. And I never say her last name right. Angie, forgive me if I ruined that. Angie was the first stroke survivor that I officially interviewed. And we didn't do it live, but what we did is we had a Zoom call and I transcribed word for word everything that she said about her stroke, what it was like at the moment she was going through her stroke. Episode number 3 goes into the inside thinking that she had, how she processed information, how she looks at her recovery. Angie is in the Philadelphia area, and she is a co-founder with 2 other speech pathologists of ARCH. And ARCH stands for Aphasia Resources Collaboration Hub. So she uses her personal insight about stroke and aphasia and her recovery to inspire others to help them on their journey. Thank you, Angie, for what you do. Episode 38, I talked with Shai Anbar. He is the author of Goddess Aphasia. And Shai went from being a CEO to a stroke survivor with aphasia. He also works every day on his speech language, his thinking. He goes to an aphasia center near his home in New Jersey. He wrote this book, Goddess Aphasia, to give more insight and inspiration to others who have aphasia. Thank you, Shai, for sharing your story. And then I'm going to wrap up with episode number 25. This is Making a Life After Stroke, and this interview was with Brandon Macon. Brandon and I met, I guess it was only 6 months after his stroke, and he really was working hard on his recovery, both his physical recovery as well as his speech and language. Brandon went from being an entrepreneur and a professor of business to tweaking how he runs his business, making sure he takes care of himself and inspires others. He uses social media to share his story and inspiration, and you need to check him out on social media. You can find him hashtag making a difference. That's just one of his hashtags, but check him out on episode number 25. So how do you find inspiration, stroke community, aphasia survivors? How do you keep moving forward every day? Maybe you feel that you don't have hope. Maybe you haven't yet coped with the changes you're experiencing every day. I hope that you will consider checking out some of these episodes, listening to the stories and the journey of these folks who do keep moving forward. There are other episodes available to you at the Listen for Life podcast that talks about coping and grief, and another episode that talks about won't do therapy versus can't do therapy. Wherever you are in your aphasia journey, know that you are not alone. My mission in starting Life Speech Pathology and Life Aphasia Academy and this podcast is to give you hope and to give you examples of others who have overcome significant setbacks in their life and they keep moving forward. Until next time, everyone, I hope you have a blessed week, a wonderful week. I hope you are staying cool wherever you are. It's only going to be 102 in Austin today. So maybe one day it will get under 100 degrees, and that is also something to be thankful for. Keep fighting the good fight. Take care, everyone.